Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuzakira Imana binti Fazli. Metric number is 2020950925. Okay, today I would like to present my assignment group with my members group, which is Nurul Ainajiha and Irma Suryani. Okay, our group assignment title is Feed Mu'asarah in Consumption, which is gelatin in food and cheese making. Okay, second slide, we can see the outline of this group assignment, which is first is food consumption, second is gelatin in food and cheese making, third is ruling relate of issues and scholar opinion argument, and last but not least is the best way to apply gelatin and cheese in Malaysia. Okay, for the first outline is food consumption. Okay, for consumption definition is first is the act of eating or the state of being eaten, especially by eating, burning and so on. Second is expenditure on goods and service for personal use. Last is consumption is also the quantity usage. Okay, next we move to gelatin and cheese making. Okay, what is gelatin in food? Gelatin come from the Latin word which is gelatus, which means hard. Gelatin is a type of protein made by collagen tissues, and collagen come from skin, bone and ligament of animals such as cattle, buffalo, fish and pig. Gelatin also have a variety of functional properties that make it a popular ingredient in a variety of food such as dessert like ice cream, yogurt, confectionery juice, jellies, and marshmallow. This food contain gelatin. Okay, next is a type of gelatins. Gelatin have two types, which is type A and type B. Okay, for type A is gelatin type A is created only from pig skin, which are processed about 18 to 13 hours in a acid atmosphere with a pH of 1.5 to 3.0. It making it haram to be used by Muslim. Is second type, which is gelatin type B. This type is over several weeks in an alkali medium with a pH of 12.0 to a month. It is made either from cattle or calf skin or from demineralized cattle bones, poultry skin or other permit animal. Next.
My name is Irma Suryani binti Harun. My method number 2020173495. Okay, the next is ruling related to gelatin issues. First is the majority of the Muslim community is at risk because Islam forbids the intake of pork in any form save to preserve one's life in life-threatening situation, as Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala plainly stated in the Al-Quran. Second is one of the major issues among Muslims is the food sector. O Messenger, eat of the good things and do good deeds. Verily, I am aware of what you do. Surah Al-Mu'minun 51. Related to gelatin substances, gelatin is made by decoction of animal bones, cartilage, and skin to be extract collagen. It can be found not only from the skins and bones of terrestrial animals, but also from fish and insects. So the fact that most gelatin is produced from non-Muslim countries makes us anxious to choose a food product. Therefore, it is also important that we know the ingredients used in food and have awareness in choose halal products. Next, consuming illicit substances and using them as adulterants or additives in food product is also forbidden. For example, Allah say, it is forbidden for you carcasses, blood and pork, and what is slaughtered in the name of others from Allah. And those who die strangled, and those who die from being beaten, and those who die from falling from a high place, and those who are killed by horns and eaten by wild beasts, unless you have cleansed it by slaughtering it in manners that should be lawful while there is still life in it, and that which has been slaughtered for idols, and it is forbidden you to swear by the arrow of the divine. This is abomination. Surah Al-Maidah 5:3. So gelatin is often used in food products because of its value-added qualities. It's commonly employed as a texture stabilizer, foaming agent, emulsifying agent, and thickening ingredient in foods such as ice cream, dairy goods, jellies, pudding, drinks, and meat products. It is because of its doubtful provenance. The explicit use of gelatin in food products generates suspicion, and it is a major subject of contention for Muslim consumers. In general, consumers find it difficult to establish the legality of food products accessible on the market due to a lack of public knowledge and information. So it is critical for Muslim customers to avoid eating pork product. Therefore, Islamic law must precisely clarify the uncertainty in determining halal and haram gelatin search. Next are the previous scholars' opinion. As we know, gelatin is widely used in the food and pharmaceutical industry to improve product quality. So, gelatin obtained from selected animal is permissible. According to Islamic jurists in general, it's halal. However, in the case of pork and carcasses, Islamic jurists different on the legality of gelatin. Some opinions believe that gelatin derived from prohibited search is not permissible. It is haram, while the others is believe that gelatin derived from prohibited source is halal because it has gone through the process of istihala, which means transformation and conversion of one material to other material. It is one of alternative methods of determination of halal and haram. So the use of gelatin derived from pig skin is a controversial topic in the halal community. Next, according to the Shafi'i scholars, gelatin derived from any edible animals such as pork or beef or unselected meat is strictly forbidden. While the Hanafi scholars, on the other hand, adhere to the basic methodological concept that everything impure that is changed into a new substance at the molecular level becomes sacred. According to the Hanafi scholars, the method performed is significant enough to assure that the final product has no resemblance to the original object. So, as a result, it is now regarded pure and safe to consumer. However, the opinion of Muslim jurists, the claim gelatin derived from pork are permitted by istihalah process are not acceptable because it is not parallel with scientific evidence. Okay, next the solution of gelatin issues. As you know, food makers in Malaysia must adhere to three main standards in order to meet the requirements. First, HACCP, Hazard Analysis Critical Control Points. Second is GHP, Good Hygiene Practices. And the last one, Halal Standard. The application of Halal Standard is a major incentive provided by the Malaysian government to regard Malaysia as a halal food hub. It was developed in collaboration with a number of organizations, including the Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, or JAKIM. An issue that occurred the previous years, Malaysians were shocked by a report from the Ministry of Health Malaysia, MOH means KKM, which stated the two Cadbury chocolate products contained pig DNA. However, tests conducted by the Malaysian Islamic Religious Development Department, JAKIM, found that the two chocolates were found to be negative for pig DNA and were therefore allowed to be eaten. So, halal food preparation and handling, basic standard for food item, food commerce, and food business in Malaysia are among the important guidelines mandated by the halal standard. So, for the solution, other certification process requirements must be met in order for it to be implemented. In addition to assuring the halal status of a product, it must also ensure the safety, efficiency, and cleanliness of a product. This is also to make certain that this product isn't just for Muslim. It is also suitable for non-Muslim due to its halal status. Next, Fatwa Authority view related to gelatin. What we found, in 1999, the National Fatwa Council issued a fatwa banning goods, foods, and beverage processed using pig DNA biotechnology methods, which were ruled illegal and contrary to Islamic law. Second is most researchers and scholars say of istihala the matter is harus, and the OIC World Union of Fiqh Scholars has confirmed the ruling of the matter during their meeting on 18 to 22 November 2013. So the principle of istihala can be observed in various forms of vessels and animal carcasses with chemical change occurring until the complete molecules of the vessel material change to a new form. Some scholars and researchers think it is sacred and halal for medicine and food. Okay, the third is Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Asri Zainul Abidin, the former Mufti of Perlis, commented on the view of Sheikh Dr. Yusuf Al-Qardawi is a well-known scholar who stated that animal gelatin, including pork, is halal to use. He said, gelatin or DNA obtained from pigs could be considered halal if it had undergone a transformation process according to the concept of Islamic terminology. It is istihalah. Okay, the last one, the European Fatwa Council. It is European Fatwa and Research Council, the European Fiqh Council, and the 1997 Medical Fiqh Conference in Morocco and others do not prohibited the use of the term fiqh in medical materials, food, and others contexts. So there are differences of fatwas issued to prescribe halal and haram gelatin is in food. However, in Islam, halal food is considered for the prosperity and well-being of the individual.
Next is what is cheese? Okay, meaning of cheese. Old English word is cheese. I don't know how to pronounce it. From Latin word casus, which mean right or perfect things. Cheese also defined as milk curd, where it is separated from whey and pressed into a foam in a solid mass. Cheese is a curd or substance formed by the coagulation of meat of certain mammals by rennet or similar enzymes in the presence of lactic acid, produced by added or adventitious microorganisms, from which part of the moist have moved by cutting, warning, and pressing, which has been shaped in mold and then repacked. Also unrepacked by holding for some time at suitable temperature and humidity. History of cheese. Some believe that cheese grew in a fertile region between the Tigris and Euphrates River in Iraq about 8,000 years ago. Cheese also occurred due to the breeding of dairy-producing animals, especially sheep, which began 8 to 10,000 years ago. In ancient Greek mythology, the art of cheese making and cheese making has been found in Egyptian tombs mural since over 4,000 years ago. However, it has been famous in Greek and Roman diets since 2,500 years ago. Cheese also in Roman Empire, cheese making had become a widespread and a high value process practiced throughout Europe and Middle East. Europe immigrants introduced cheese and the art of the cheese making in the soup. European expansion and subsequent American influence generally it spread to Asia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Ainaja binti Rasli. My number matric is 2020973631. So I would like to continue this presentation about process of cheese making. Firstly, pasteurization of meat. Pasteurization of meat is to kill almost of existing microorganisms, including harmful pathogenic bacteria, which can cause a disease such as tuberculosis and leptospirosis, and another unwanted microorganism such as yeast and coliform. Second is acidification of meat through two main methods, namely through culturing or acidification. Cultivation refers to the organiter culture bacteria, which is ferment lactose into lactic acid. Then the lactic acid bacteria are put into the meat so that the cheese making process is worked. The acidification of meat is essential for the proper release of whey. From whey, cheese and for controlling the growth of many unwanted bacteria. Third, the freezing process. The freezing process is from the late breakdown of protein or casein to produce a solid or semi-solid or cut from a gel can be achieved by lowering the pH of meat and the addition of rennet. Number 4 is the cutting process. Is to remove moisture from the cut. Through this step, the temperature need consistent and its pH must be checking periodicity time from to time, so that the pH and moisturized content of the food are always controlled. So number 5 is drying. The drying process, which is we need to dry it, we remove the whey by drying it and processing it further. Next, dry salting process or place in a brine after 1 day at room temperature. The cheese is marinated. It is intended as a preservative and as a flavoring or flavor enhancers. Next is the forming process. In the forming process, the cut can be altered and shaped into a finer shape of this cheese. For example, into a sphere, a large block space, a large block shape, or small, round, and anywhere. Okay, the last step is the cheese making process. Is to age the cheese, which is the maturation period. Next slide is about ruling related to cheese making issue. Firstly, milk. As we know, meat derives from halal animal source such as cow milk is widely used in cheese making. However, there is also milk from illegal animals. What to say if the animal meat used is sourced from halal animals, then the cheese is halal. However, if the cheese meat come from animal that are not halal, then it is haram. As the Brunei Information Department through the official website of Pelita Brunei 2019 in the discussion of animal meat. The source of animal meat is divided into the 3 parts as follows. First, animal whose meat can be eaten. 2. Dog and pig. 3. A scarce animal whose flesh cannot be eaten. Second issue is about type of enzyme. In the process of making cheese, there is a type of enzyme that is often used that is a rennet, where it is obtained from the stomach lining of cows, goat or pig, and from plant cells and synthesis of microorganisms such as pineapple and castor oil seed and others. However, the commonly used rennet enzyme is an animal source, where there are doubts about the issue of imported cheese, whether is it made from halal or not halal animal source. Lastly, from the point of view of the process of slaughtering the animal, how whether is it slaughtered Islamically or not. As a Muslim, what a Muslim need to emphasize is the slaughtering process, where it is slaughtered according to Islamic law or not. Next slide is about the previous scholar opinions. Rennet enzyme to make cheese sources from animals, whether it is taken from halal animals or not, it is used as a milk thickener. Rennet is categorized as halal if rennet is derived from halal animal and the slaughtering process is in accordance with Islamic law, this is because it is as a substitute material to produce the product. According to the opinion of Shafi'i, say that is it forgivable if the rennet is used to make cheese as alcohol is used to make medics and seeds. While according to the school of Abu Hanifa, there are those who say that cheese should be eaten, and there are also those who say that it should not be eaten. However, according to Hanbali said and the view of Maliki and Shafi'i, it is said the milk and rennet used for cheese production, carcasses or feces. And narration from Ahmad and the view of Abu Hanifa as well as Daud al-Zahiri state that the meat and rennet of cases and scared. This is because they saw the action of the companion of the Prophet Muhammad SAW who ate cheese in Persia, where the cheese was made from rennet taken off a kid, and it was selected by non-Muslim Persian center or Kansas. The view is supported by Ibn Tamiji. Next, in the use of animal direct rennet, we must to know that it has taken place in the process of slaughter according to Islamic law, so that there is no doubt. Therefore, the use of rennet is allowed in Islam. This is because it is not harmful to humans, as well as the use of rennet sauce from halal animals and can also be from plant sauces. Next slide is about solution of cheese making issue. As in the case of the cheese making, it is important to ensure that the content of the nutrient and additive used in the production of the cheese are not mixed with illegal substances such as rennet sauce from illegal animals. There are several government agencies that are directly and indirectly involved in the management of the halal industry in Malaysia. As for example, Jabatan Kemajuan Islam Malaysia, it means JAKIM, need to act in resolving issue and challenge in the management of halal food certification. Second, Halal Industry Development (HDC) is also responsible for the integrity of halal standard, maintaining quality and providing solution as demanded by the principle of Islamic Sharia and the commercial industry. 3. Halal Enforcement Agency consists of KPD and KK, where the power to seize, compound and prosecute a company owner who violate a relevant law. MOH, where clean lines of the premise or clean line of food or product operation must be made together with enforcement officer of the Ministry of Health. Animal Health is a department. Veterinary Service is mean a GPV, also join KDRM and PBT. Next slide is about Fatwa Authority view related to cheese making. First, from Zakara Fatwa Committee of the National Councils for Islamic Religious Affairs Malaysia Converse on 7 to 8 March 1999 was discussed the use of the active agent in food. This fatwa is in the line with the issue of the cheese making, which use a foreground substance, namely a rennet enzyme. Muzakara has decided that the use of a surface active agent in food should be provided that the sauce used actually a self-active agent should be obtained from crop, and if it is from animal, then the animals should be halal animals. Therefore, as a Muslim, it is better to use cheese come from plain sauce in order to avoid doubt. If an ingredient is made with another ingredient with risk, doubt and ambiguity, then that it is obligatory for us to avoid and leave the food as a precaution. Second, from the 27 Muzakarah of the Fatwa Committee of the National Council for Islamic Religious Affairs of Malaysia, which is met on 3 October 1990, discussed about cheese as a food material. Muzakarah has decided that cheese as a food ingredient is a must, whether the enzyme used as the ingredient in the manufacture of the cheese are obtained from plant or fungi or animals that are halal and slaughtered. The explanation of the Muzakarah was taken note of Dr. Abu Bakar Hussein from the Mardi Food Technology Division, where he said the term of the nutrient in the cheese, where is contain vitamin, protein, fat, calcium, and iron during the cheese process to convert it to a solid, so it must use a renal enzyme sourced from halal plant and animal source. In conclusion, what is explained in the animal or animals used should be halal animal and slaughtered according to Islam. This is to safeguard the welfare of Muslims to be protected from illegal elements.
Last but not least, in conclusion, understanding the process of making a food is a critical in determining the halal status of the product in Islam. For example, in process of making gelatin and cheese, which is a simple product which meets the need of society in terms of food. As a result, when it comes to gelatin and cheese, entrepreneur can choose product that has been certified by the official halal board Malaysia, which is JAKIM. The community also should be sensitive to the status of a cheese product which is that available in local market, so that the diet does not violate Islamic law. In Malaysia, create good locals that has been registered to help Muslim to get the good that they need. That's all from us. Thank you.